Okay, this video is about how I set my patrol vest up. The reason I'm doing this video is because when I first went to set mine up, I tried 100 different ways, and every way is different for how it works for everybody.
Enunciate.
This video is on how I set up my patrol vest. I have had a lot of questions on how I set my vest up, and when I first got my vest, I didn't have any idea how I was going to do it. I watched some videos online, got some ideas, and hopefully this video will help somebody give them ideas. Everybody's different, likes their gear set up differently, but this is what works for me, so I thought I would go through it all. So initially I've got my belt. It's just an AccuMold Bianchi belt. It fits me well. I like it. It's comfortable. On that I hang my Safariland Holster. It's one of their 7630s, I believe it is. It's with the ALS release. I always take my Safariland holsters. I've had about 3 or 4 now, and I always trim the bottom of them because they're always way longer than the gun itself, and it bumps into things, gets all scuffed up. So I trim them to fit my guns. Manufacturer probably wouldn't recommend that. Then I have the Blackhawk Taser holster on my belt, and the only other thing I carry on my belt is an old Leatherman that I have that I've had for probably close to 20 years. I recently lost it and found that researching online, I remember paying about 40 to 50 bucks for it when I originally bought it, and anything even close to it was in the neighborhood of $235. So it's a collectible now. I'm thinking about changing it out and going to a cheaper one for work. Okay, so but I like to keep the belt really empty because that really helps with my hips. After 27 years in law enforcement, the belt really wears on the hips. So I keep it nice and clean. The vest itself is a Safariland armor carrier. It was provided by my work. I like it a lot. It's probably one of the better ones that I've seen. I've seen quite a few. But the way I have it set up is I have from going left to right, I have a small Condor radio holster. But they're not very expensive, and it does the job just fine. The Baton Holster here. This is a high-speed gear baton holster. It's actually not designed for a baton. It's actually designed as a submachine gun magazine pouch. But the holster, the submachine gun magazine here, will hold the baton just fine. It's got a tensioning system, and this is actually a Peacekeeper Products baton. It's actually got a greater circumference than their standard batons, so I like the SMG pouch because it's adjustable, not just for your regular batons like your Monadnocks or your Asps, but it'll expand to even fill a bigger baton, and it's right there. It holds it very securely. I then have a 511 shotgun pouch. It'll hold a whole box of 25 rounds, but I don't use it for shotgun shells. I use it to hold just odds and ends, notebooks, small reference materials. If I'm contacting somebody, I'll put it's got a slit here right in front, so if I need to hang on to somebody's ID or something, I'll just drop it in there and it won't go anywhere, and it'll drop into the pouch and I'll be able to retrieve it later. Down below that I have an S-Tac 3-pistol magazine pouch. I like the S-Tac because it's very compact, doesn't take up a lot of space on your vest. There's an interesting story behind it. Originally, it came with the magazines facing either right or left, not facing forward. And I contacted the company to see if they would produce one like this. There was some back and forth between me and the company, and they were not interested, to say the least. So these are just a sleeve of Cordura nylon, and inside the company has a hard shell plastic Kydex that's just velcroed into the sleeve of nylon. So what I did was I pulled the sleeve out, inserted some additional velcro, and just rotated 90 degrees, and I got what I wanted. I even sent a picture of it to them and said that, hey, they could probably manufacture it. And they basically told me that there's lots of other companies out there that produce that sort of thing, and they had no interest. So, but overall, I am very pleased with this. And the reason I wanted it to face forward is because it's not so big of a problem when I use a Glock, but when I use any other kind of a gun, the lip on the magazines tend to overshoot each other and make it difficult to get them in and out. And then over here, I have a Blackhawk Taser cartridge holder. The jury's still out on this. I'm not real thrilled with it. I did have to end up zip tying it because it would pop off all the time off the MOLLE gear. So it is zip tied to the vest, and it does still pop off, but when it does, the zip tie catches it and it just hangs a little limp, and I just reattach it. So that I'm probably going to find a better solution for. Next to that, I have the Condor MA4 flashlight holder. It just holds it. It's adjustable, so you can pop in any short flashlight and carry that with you. Down below those, I have two high-speed gear taco handcuff pouches. Again, I like them because they're real low profile, take up very little room on the vest. I played around with a double cuff case, but it stuck out so far that it got in the way. So I wanted to put two cuffs, so I got a couple of taco cases, and they worked out great. I'm really happy with these. And next to that, I have another S-Tac. This is an AR short mag holder. Another thing with the S-Tacs that I wasn't real pleased with is they came with a kind of a really inferior MOLLE attachment strap. So I went out and I started looking around, and I found these Blackhawk strike speed clips, and found that they were very good, and I actually used those to replace a lot of the other attachments because they were easy to thread into the MOLLE, and they also come out very easy if I want them out, but they will hold secure and tight to everything without anything coming loose. So I'm really pleased with those. The vest also has little pouches in it, so I've got a knife in there, and I've got my pens, and over here I've got a handcuff key and another pen. The vest has all kinds of internal wiring and pass-throughs, so I can run my radio wiring and stuff, and I'm just overall really pleased with it. So that's my vest. I hope you got any information off of it that you want to use. Great. Thanks for watching.